Cancel Joe Nami. We are live. Welcome to the podcast. I don't even remember what this podcast is called. I'm just kidding. It's called Cancel Joe Nami. We got some stuff. Some stuff is happening. What the hell is happening? I don't know. People are dying as usual. Tornado. I hear there's a tornado. That might be why the Omnicom, Comcast, Variety, Delta, Spirit Airlines, COVID variant is happening. Could that be? It's quite possible. What the hell? Tornado. There's a tornado. A lot of people are dying. Thankfully, the tornado's taking away a lot of the shit. It's taking away a lot of the onus from COVID. Now, Kansas. Holy shit. No, it's Kentucky. Kansas and Kentucky, though, is there really a difference? You know what I mean? Like, I think they should just both merge into one state. I mean, why? Why is there a Kentucky and a Kansas? Kansas fried chicken, I bet it's the same as Kentucky fried chicken. You know what I mean? I think you do. Then there's this guy, well, you know what? No. What else do we have to say about the tornado? We're not in Kansas anymore. That's Dorothy. Remember that piece of shit movie? No, I'm kidding. I actually, you know what? That movie's kind of fun. It's only, well, here's a story. Some of you may know this. Some of you may not. On the set of Wizard of Oz, that's the movie. Okay, so there's like 100 midgets. You're not supposed to say the word anymore, but it's not like they ever. It's not like Hitler persecuted midgets, But anyways, people of small stature. I'm not even sure if you're allowed to say that anymore. I think now you have to say little people. One of them is correct. And whatever. I'm not upset about politically correct. Times change, I guess. The N-word's no longer, Can you imagine that, there's a couple of grandpas out there, can't say the N-word anymore? Man, this political correctness has gone mad. But you can't say the M as in midget. You're not supposed to say it because, we all remember when midgets didn't have the right to vote and they had to, there was police brutality. Well, no, there's a police issue when midgets are being shot by the cops. When you see midgets people of small stature. When you see people of small stature, little people being shot by the cops, then there's a real problem. Small lives matter. Small people lives matter, okay? But anyways, so there's 100 of these small midgets, small people of stature on the set of Wizard of Oz, okay? And apparently the 1920s and this time period was not a very good time for midgets. Small people of stature. Now, it was a hard time for everyone, really. The brink of the Great Depression. The Great Depression was almost happening. That was fun. And, oh, God damn it. Delivery man. Fucking all day long. Anyways, so every night, the small people of stature midgets would party on the set of The Wizard of Oz. This is true. And they would go and they'd get hammered and they'd get drunk. And there's a rumor. Okay, so this is true, actually. They would have orgies. I'm not even kidding you. Not like big people and small people, but the small people of stature would all orgy together. I believe this is 100% true. You can Google this immediately. Pause the podcast and Google this. No, don't pause that podcast. So anyways, though, one of them actually had some mental health issues and committed suicide while they were on the set of The Wizard of Oz. And he hung himself. There's a rumor, so 100% guaranteed, I swear on the Quran, hand to Quran, that he hung himself. But there's a rumor that you can see it way back in the way background of The Wizard of Oz. Go back and watch it. Fun. You can also sync The Wizard of Oz to Pink Floyd's album Money? No. Far Side of the Moon? One of the Far Side of the Moon album, I believe. Dark Side of the Moon. You can sync that album. If you play the album and play Wizard of Oz at the same time, you can sync it up. It's very eerie. Very eerie. Hand to Quran, eerie. Hand to the Prophet Muhammad. It's a little shout out. I am Middle Eastern, for those of you that don't remember. Mentally ill, Middle Eastern man right here. Good times. So, there was a tornado in The Wizard of Oz, and there was a tornado recently. So that's the connection to midgets dying. But, actually, I feel bad for people of small stature. I'm sure I wouldn't like it if they were making fun of me with a brief term that I no longer liked. I don't know. You have to talk to them, though, because who decided that this term is now the term? Like being Middle Eastern, a couple of times people have called me a terrorist or towel head, which, whatever. I mean, I don't know. It doesn't really bother me. I guess if people refer to me always by that, but I do have a name. Anyways, what else is in the motherfucking news? Josh Duggar, some Christian guy, has like 19 kids. He's going to jail for some kiddie activity, either online or in person. Who knows? What's the difference, really? It reminds me of Jared Fogle. He's like a Jared Fogle, but less religious. You know what I mean? Because he likes controversial sex. Sex controversy. This weekend on the news, sex is controversial. Controversial sex is the hardest way to have a career. That's pretty much all I have to do to have a career as a comedian is just, continue to be funny and not touch people. So I'm very grateful to not be dating anymore. I got an old ball and chain bag full of cats that you're going to throw in the river. That's how they used to dispose of cats in the medieval times. But I'm more of a dog lover. Chris Cuomo. In the news, both the Cuomos got fired. Cuomo to Cuomo. This time's a homo. That would be a solution, actually. If Chris Cuomo came out and said, listen, Your Honor, I can't be harassing women because I'm actually a homo, That would be, I think that would be the ethical thing to do. Because he got in trouble. I just want to make sure you can see all of my stepwife beater. Sorry about the tank top. Not sorry. This is all calculated image. Because I'm shooting from the hip here, What is this called? This is called significant other beater. Oh, God. I'm so bad. I punch every way but up. But, it gets boring punching up after a while. You can only punch the 1% for so long. And trust me, I love punching the 1% just as much as the next, internet troll. But but I am an evil Middle Eastern man. I am a mix. I'm like if Jafar and Aladdin had a kid, you know. Like if they had an orgy with Princess Jasmine and then you didn't know, you never see an orgy baby. You know what I mean? You never meet somebody and you're like, oh, who's your father? And they're like, oh, I actually don't know my biological father. I'm an orgy baby. Says it on my birth certificate. Orgy. So yeah, the Cuomos, they look very much alike. Maybe they're orgy babies. They're fired. I don't give a shit, really. They're typical New York fucking Italian guys. That was not a joke, but Omicron. That's the new variant. That's fun. You know what's fun though now is I got vaccinated because you have to in order to continue to perform as a comedian, to enter these venues. And my girlfriend has an autoimmune condition, so I got vaccinated. But I've been vaccinated twice for those reasons, and I still got COVID twice. So I don't think this vaccine works. Would I get the booster? I would get the booster for some medical marijuana, which probably protects. I think medical marijuana protects against COVID more than the vaccines. Because, why? Because the smoking actually, the smoke and, other elements of tar and whatnot, it covers your lungs. It strengthens your lungs and your CO2 capacity. If you want to strengthen your VO2, you got to put in some CO2. I'm a scientist. Science was invented, actually, in the Middle East, I believe. The Phoenicians, they invented the alphabet. And wine, you're welcome, America. So, yeah, medical marijuana, edibles. Man, I got a big edible recently. There's a lot of guys here in New York City. I met this guy after a show. He runs, actually, shout out, at Dream Treats NYC. He gave us a bunch of free edibles. And this guy has a chemistry degree. And he's self-proclaimed he could talk about weed for hours. And it's kind of funny. He just spends all day, like, in his house, like, Breaking Bad style with edible treats. It's kind of funny, making just, like, huge plops of gelatinous treats. So that's kind of cool. He's a cool guy. So stay in school, kids. Study chemistry. I mean, really, between cooking meth, my grandpa's in hospice, and I really want to get him, like, meth and LSD and cocaine, because when you're on the deathbed, I know this is sort of a well-trodden lane of humor, but seriously, this is a real topic. Like, why not go and do all the drugs? And LSD has serotonin-boosting properties that last for weeks. So I really want to dose my grandpa with some serious narcotics, so he can go out with a bang, have a good time, right? Death. I've been thinking about death lately. Death comes to us all. Death is fun because sometimes, when, like, for example, you go and you get a bad haircut, and you get mad because you're uglier than usual. You know who you are. I mean, for God's sakes, look at me. None of this is. Does this look like a good haircut? No, this is not a good haircut. My girlfriend cut my hair because I refuse to pay out to big hair. Okay, the man, all these hair corporations. Why was I talking about hair? Fucking, I don't know. I don't remember. Fortnite. Oh yeah, my grandpa's dying. Oh, it's Christmas. This is the last Christmas with my grandpa for sure. I think he's got like 10 days left. And it's like, what do you get? What do I get him for Christmas? What is he? What do you get a guy with 10 days left for Christmas? I mean, I love him, and yes, I'm making jokes, and it's a way for me to process my pain and trauma, but also, oh, I remember haircuts. You get a bad haircut, and then you look at yourself and you're like, wow, I'm ugly. And then, but then you remember, oh, I'm going to die one day, and this fucking haircut doesn't really matter. Trying to tell my girlfriend that she got a bad haircut. I mean, it's a good haircut. In case she's listening, self-proclaimed. Anyways, I'm moving on to the next topic. So there's this guy. Also, heads up, I'm going to talk about Ghislaine Maxwell in a few minutes here. So hang in if you're still watching. But first, I want to shit on this guy. I hate this guy I mean, I don't hate him. I don't know him personally, but he seems like a huge twat. And I mean twat in the politically correct sense of the term, twat. Mr. Beast, he's on YouTube. He's always posting pictures with all his YouTube awards, like in his kitchen and, telling his mom how proud she must be of him. And like all his videos, though, there's not an ounce of talent or proprietary skill to any of his videos. Okay, all his videos just reek of desperation and patheticness. And every video's like, I spent 50 hours buried in a underground cavern with the cameras rolling because I have no friends. And all his friends are just his subscribers, which is kind of funny. I mean, I have like 3 friends, but still, that's more than Mr. Beast. And also, like, really, you call yourself Mr. Beast? Like, the guy is so defeatable. Like, whoever you are watching this, you could impale his lungs with your foot. He looks like he has that he looks like he was definitely born with that inverted chest condition. I'm sure he was. I don't know. Something really traumatic must have happened to him. He definitely was really bullied a lot to name himself Mr. Beast. And now he wants, like, all his videos are just like, look at this massive quantity of balls that I bought, and I filled a store with balls. Like, it's just, and yes, you know what? Also, I'm jealous because he's getting millions of views and millions of subscribers. I was like, who the fuck is watching this garbage? It's garbage, all right? But, alas, I am also garbage. But I'm a different flavor of garbage, all right? I think art is a lot like ice cream. There's different flavors. Some people have bad taste, and that's genetic. Sorry. If you like, what's the worst flavor of ice cream? Diaper-flavored soft serve? Imagine if there was an ice cream that was flavored like a period. Ice cream flavored like an oil spill. That'd be fun. Gasoline. Lay down, dog. I command you to lay down. Lay down. Stupid dog. Ghislaine Maxwell. Epstein's. Let's talk about it. So, Ghislaine. I've heard it pronounced Ghislaine, Ghislaine, but it's definitely pronounced Ghislaine. I know that because it's Irish. Ghislaine Maxwell is in court, and I've watched none of the proceedings, and I'm not well informed, but I will extrapolate strong opinions on the matter, all right? From what little I do know, she was the right-hand woman of Epstein, Voldemort, he who shall not be named. My mouth is getting dry just talking about Ghislaine. What else? She's in court. She was basically setting up all of the sex for Epstein. She was Epstein's sexual receptionist, his sexual coordinator. And now she's claiming that she got used. She was a pawn in the Epstein scheme. Like, come on. We know she rode the plane. She's always smiling in the Epstein pictures. I think she was his girlfriend, because God knows he couldn't have an emotional connection with any of those other people that were 16 or 17. I mean, you just can't, what do? They watch anime. She's in court, and it's kind of fun. Every day someone draws her in the court because they're not allowed to have cameras, I guess. And I'd really like to see some caricatures of her. That'd be fun. Like, obviously, South Park and maybe The Simpsons, or have her put into the animated series like Arthur or PBS. That'd be fun. This week, Ghislaine Maxwell sings the ABCs. A, B, C, D, gotta be of age. Next time, won't you consent with me? Thank you. Epstein didn't kill himself. Interesting. I was reading recently. I mean, some of you may know this, but Epstein's cellmate was this huge guy that used to be the mafia hitman, and they put this guy in the cell with Epstein. Personally, I think Bill Clinton, who wrote Epstein, I mean, he's on Epstein's flight logs, and we're all just dismissing this. Oh, and this is hilarious. Now Bill Clinton is teaching a master class on leadership. That's fucking amazing. Bill Clinton is teaching a master class on leadership, on how to successfully delegate and what kind of diplomacy you should employ when you are jizzing on your intern. Thank you, Bill Clinton. That blue dress, by the way, that Monica Lewinsky wore that's stained with Bill Clinton's cum it's in a warehouse. It's in a government warehouse somewhere right next to the UFO medals. Bill Clinton's cum-stained dress is right next to the wreckage from the Roswell UFO crash. And I demand that all of this is released because we want answers. I know there's a connection between Lewinsky's stained blue dress and the elements of the Roswell medal wreckage. Okay, real quick, those of you that don't know, if you do remember, most of my fan base probably does, but a UFO crashed in, and that is unidentified flying object, unidentified aerial phenomenon crashed in Roswell, New Mexico in, I believe it was 1942. Could be wrong on the date. Cancel me if I am. Crashed, and at first, all the newspapers reported that it was... I'm sorry, my window's open. God fucking damn it. The city of sirens. Someone is always dying in New York City. Fuck this place. I would get up and close the window, but, that wouldn't be very professional. Roswell, New Mexico, 1942. All the newspapers reported that a flying saucer-like UFO crashed. And then the next few days, the military came in and they staged an alternate crash involving a weather balloon. All right. Very different looking crash. And the lead military investigator went on his deathbed saying that it was staged. But anyways, listen, I'm not going to vouch my claim for UFOs right now. That's for another episode. But there are thousands of reports by Air Force pilots that you should look into. I thought the UFOs were just like a dozen sightings. A dozen credible sightings? No, there's thousands. But anyways, so the UFO wreckage, a lot of these UFO metals are claimed to be out of lighter metals such as germanium, palladium, and turanium. And these are on the periodic table. They're lightweight metals with I believe, a lower atomic negative energy density that allows them to be a little more anti-gravitational. But anyways, and then there's this other element called element 115 that was newly discovered, and it has nuclear properties, and it's all in the whole Bob Lazar UFO stuff. But I say all of this to finish up this long-winded bit that I think Monica Lewinsky's dress has element 115 on it now because it's been sitting in a warehouse next to the Roswell UFO wreckage. All right? And per the Rendlesham UFO incident, if you are near a UFO, there were a couple soldiers that spotted a UFO, and actually one got very close to it in Rendlesham, United Kingdom. And these were American soldiers because we had an American base there. I believe this was in the 1980s. They got radiation poisoning from the UFO. I don't know. What's that all about? And the government refused to cover their medical expenses because they didn't want to believe that the UFO, they didn't want to take it seriously because then they would have to file a real report and it would get out, blah, blah, blah. But John McCain's assistant, and ultimately John McCain helped them get their medical expenses covered. This is the Rendlesham UFO incident. Google it. It's fucking creepy. There's a great episode of The Basement Office from the New York Post. Tots died in UFO, angels, twinks. You know, like all the New York Post articles per John Mulaney's bit. But anyways, yeah. So my theory, all right, here's my hot theory. Monica Lewinsky's dress is in a government UFO warehouse, okay? Well, this is just where they put all the shit they don't want anyone to find, okay? So her dress is stained with Bill Clinton's cum, all right? It's a blue dress. Big, if you're too young, if you're watching this, if you're too young, big scandal. The president, Bill Clinton, came on the intern's dress during the night of a White House party. Now, it resides in a secret government warehouse near the wreckage of the UFO Roswell wreckage. I don't know what the hell I'm saying. But anyways, now it has alien properties. The aliens have come back for element 115 all over Monica Lewinsky's dress. They want Bill Clinton's cum, which now has anti-gravitational properties. All right, I'm officially insane. I'm just trying to create entertainment for you guys because life is empirically boring and we're all going to die. So that's the end of this podcast. I've been on for a while. I don't know what else to say. Share this with a dying loved one. Thank you. Bye.